grace. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. At this time, are there any citizens' comments? Stephanie, I'll give the floor to you if you have anything.
She's actually an item.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
But thank you.
but she's also a citizen.
I'm not what? Also a citizen.
All right. Tom, do you have a copy of the minutes for November?
And some, but,
Yeah, that's what he had handed out.
Oh,
here
I
is,
thought he was handing it out tonight.
well, these are November minutes
Okay.
that he approved. That's the one I approve and you and someone else sign.
So since I'm on here as secretary, I'm signing by my name, but with Amos absent, who would sign for him?
Yeah, just any member, it doesn't matter, just both you sign however you'd like, sir.
One of y'all take Amos's spot there, please.
You want to do it? Doesn't matter. I know you're going to sign your pencil in my hand.
Did y'all take a motion and pass it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, let me do that first. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
For
second.
November. I'll second.
All right, all in favor? 3.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
All right, moving down to item A. This is just a briefing from the facility and events manager. Who's going to speak? Selena, are you?
Selena, go up.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so basically we have the revenue services for the arena, and we have the expenses on the supply materials. If you look on page 1, the revenues that we have, we current budget at $80,000 for the Civic Center rental, and we're at $63,000 right now. It's on page 2. Oh, page 1, I'm sorry, page 1.
Which one?
On the small
one?
packet.
No, you're on the long one.
Longer one.
There's new facility.
Yes. We're also going for the concession sales. We're at 70, current budget, and we're at 62,000 right now. The gym rental, we're at current budget, and we're at 22,000 right now, 22,365.
I think if you kind of just look at the cover page of it, it breaks it down by the percentage and where it stands as to where we are in the current budget. The blue highlighted area is the current budget, the 23-24 budget. Your next column is gonna be your year-to-date where we are. The next column will be what's left in the budget, and then the far right column is the percentage of the budget that has been expensed. So if you're looking at the total at the bottom, you have $243,444. Year-to-date, you've spent $114,902. I'm sorry, that's on revenues collected, so that's where you're at. And that's gonna cover the event center part of it. On the other packet that she gave you, that's gonna cover your sports complex. And it's basically the same thing. The blue area is the budget that was adopted for 23-24. Year-to-date is the next one. And then your last column is where you currently stand. And then of course your percentage of your budget expense. And any questions y'all have on it, we can take back to the finance director if you need any clarification on anything.
I mean, some of these may be more of an initial expense for the year, but it just looks like, based on some of the percentages, we're only in month 1 of the year, and our percentage is already like where we would be like normally for a quarter. Is that normal?
We've already completed our first quarter. We run by fiscal year from October to September, so
Okay.
we're getting ready to end our 4th month
Okay.
before our year.
All right, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if this is something to ask now, but I was, something was said about whenever they had the meeting, I don't know, did we talk about it in this meeting? Whenever they had the meeting for the, water park, that there was money that was in our budget that was budgeted towards the water.
The splash pad?
The splash pad.
I did not sit in that meeting. That's something we have to get with the finance director on to find out where that's coming from.
About that, because I just feel like since we've met, we've talked about like things that we didn't budget last time for like the gym that needs attention, and it's like, I don't know if we have any say in if that money stays here for the employees. But they said it was like
I believe it's different.
$50,000.
I believe it's different funding that they're trying to use for the splash pad. It's not anything that was already proposed in the current budget.
And maybe it was just mentioned, but it wasn't like, nothing was done about it, I'm not really sure. But
Okay.
that was mentioned, I don't know if it was in like our last meeting or.
I don't recall.
I don't remember. what we
They had a town hall meeting on the splash pad, so
It
maybe
was-
that's where they talked about it at.
Yeah, it was like, they were trying to figure out like where to get, I guess, funding from, and then it
Okay.
was mentioned that, something about the event center having money, and then they could use that towards it.
Okay, we
So
can
then
find out.
somebody said that we needed to find out like if that was really the case, because that was something that we could potentially use.
Okay, we can get with her and find out. Mhm. And I think that'll cover it for item A.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay. Move on to item B, discussion and possible action to approve or ratify alternate youth programs for their 2024 lease and schedule.
We have a copy of the agreement. It's mirrors last year's, with the exception of date changes. Rental rate staying the same. Ms. Bloff has tendered her calendar previously. We just hadn't gotten the actual contract itself done. I don't have any issues with Ms. Bloff's tenancy, so it's up to the board, I guess. There's no real reason why you guys wouldn't enter into the agreement, but this is just kind of to finalize what we've already rolled into this year.
We're all able to come to an agreement on the schedule and all that stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
they all worked together and they came up with a
I thought
schedule.
you guys approved it, like last October.
No, they were just talking about it, but we
Yeah.
just got with it and we can get it.
Well, it is attached, and then Ms. Bloff and her working with that. That's typically how that works.
Is there anything you guys in particular want to look forward through in here? Because I know the schedule is really
Yeah,
a
that was
main
the thing.
concern, so,
Yeah, and we, Ryan and I went ahead and hashed that out and got it taken care of.
okay.
So what we would need is somebody to,
So I'll make a motion
Okay.
to go ahead and approve also use program for their 2024 lease.
I will second the motion.
All right, all in favor?
okay. Theoretically, you're the presiding officer of the meeting, you don't make motions, you call for them.
Oh,
We work for them, we don't vote on it.
I will make a motion
That's
to
okay.
approve.
That's all right, we're all a little rusty.
okay, item C.
If y'all don't mind signing, and Ms. Boff will sign,
Okay.
and I will scan it and send
Yes.
you a copy.
That would be
ma'am.
perfect.
Email a copy to the center as well.
It was
Where's the actual
I still
page?
feel that too.
What's the 12-page contract with 12-page schedule?
9, 10, and 11. It's right here. I lied. It's right here. I lied. It's right here. I did it right.
There you go. So where Amos's name is, just draw a line.
Yes, sir. That'll be fine.
Nope, today's
The 25th.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
month's gone by fast. And I'm leaving this with you, right, Tom?
Yes, ma'am. That's something I forgot to do today.
There's your pen back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll get you a copy of it, ma'am.
All right, and is there anything else? I can go ahead and sneak out of here?
You may sneak.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it.
All right, moving on to item D, discussion and possible action related to future monthly reports on rentals and concessions.
Did you skip one?
Do you see skip C?
Is that?
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Discussion and possible action related establishing a clear chain of command for all staff.
I'm looking
These,
at the numbers.
You guys might have to tell us what y'all were envisioning for those items.
I think this one, we were just talking about, like, as far as with Monica and Miss Selena, the groundskeepers, all that, they go to her first, and then she goes to you with anything, and then you would go to Andy, maybe? Okay, so nobody, like, goes over, like, Selena to go straight to you?
No.
Okay. I think that was basically it, just, who's, like, you know what I mean, like, who's in chain of command?
Is Ruth still here?
Oh, Ruth is no longer here.
Who's this? Who's on here?
Ruth.
So is that position vacant or is it just not gonna be filled?
It's a vacant. HR is out in training this week, so when she returns next week, we'll get it posted.
But it's a full-time spot?
It is a
Right?
full-time spot.
Well,
I
let
think
me
I
show
had
them.
the wrong thing the whole time.
Oh, gosh, you don't have this one?
I don't know.
And the plan is to get her a replacement.
Correct.
Oh, good. Selena needs a little help. Not that you're not doing a good job.
Okay. Megan, you're good with that?
Yeah.
On that one, okay. All right, we'll try D again. Discussion and possible action related to future monthly reports on rentals and concessions. So the only thing, because I wasn't in attendance, the only thing I saw was that it was packed for the boxing event. I guess getting a little more granular, how were the actual concession sales?
We did very well on the concession stuff, on the concessions by itself, on the beer prices and stuff, with the beer increase. The
So
beer
you did increase it?
Yes, we
Good.
did increase it to $8.
$8.
Oh, one beer?
That was gonna be my question
My
about,
God.
And you
like,
still
the
sold
big
like,
We
increase.
sewed because everywhere else, all
Like, for
around, they're
specific
selling them
events.
for between $8 to $10 a beer. So
Yeah,
we
because I
sold our
think we
beer
were
at
at
$8.
4 last year.
Yeah, and
So-
before that, I don't know.
4
Do we
or
run
5.
No, actually, we did
Twenty.
well. We did right at the end, that's when we ran out, but everything was good.
But it was even pay, so.
Mhm. Yes,
yeah.
it wasn't crazy. Everything was,
Okay.
it was good, steady.
and concession was good? I think they
Concession,
had
Bubba's.
burgers and
They,
yeah,
it was,
okay.
it was vended out.
Okay, cool.
That was a good
Did
thing.
you get any like good feedback on that? Did people like that?
We did, people did like it. They liked that it was catered and, not catered, but
Yeah.
Bubba's canned.
Right.
So it wasn't chaotic right there. The lines were good. Everything was smooth.
So when it's subbed out like that, is there a percentage of that that goes to us from Bubba's or?
So it was kind of a last minute deal.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't here, it's something they kind of work out on their own, but the agreement came to that whatever they made that night, 15% of it would go back to the city,
Okay.
being that we had charged them any type of rental fee for the usage of the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
No, no overhead, no headache for us, so that's good.
Well, an event like that, I feel like better food is a good thing,
Mhm.
because like, it is a nice
And they were
crowd.
happy.
Yeah.
They-
Everybody was
The
full.
hungry guys.
Everybody's full and everybody had view.
Good.
And was it a sellout? Was it completely sold out or no?
Yes, actually, at the end, we did sell on the, like, just standard beers, but we did.
No, I mean, like
right towards-
seat-wise.
Or seat-wise, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, you know what? I heard from the event before, it wasn't as packed as it's been. But we had a lot of tables and seats. There was, probably 1,000 maybe at that, because we put like 900 plus chairs out. So then they added more. So it just didn't seem as crowded as what I was told.
The
that-
previous one.
Yes.
So this is talking about future monthly reports on rentals and concessions. So are we all wanting like there to be, like us to get a report each
Report.
month on?
I mean, it's really cool.
Well, I thought
But
this was,
yeah,
you guys
basically,
had
yeah.
some, y'all wanted, to discuss the format, y'all received them. If I understood the item correctly, we actually had to have a meeting on y'all's agenda, me and the city manager the next day. So what are they asking about? I don't know. I've been busy and they've been busy.
Yeah.
But I think y'all were kind of wanting to discuss how y'all received these reports.
Right, I guess like a written report every month of like the rentals and,
Well, wouldn't that be?
But that's part of,
Yeah.
this is your financials, that's what your financials cover that.
Well, is it because the issue has been that some people aren't paying? And so it's
Yeah.
making sure that each event is that what it,
So then you're wanting
Yeah,
to
it's
see
like-
contracts that are paid for, is what you're wanting to see.
I didn't.
well, it's like a report on I put it on here, every rental for each month, who was the tenant, what monies were like collected from the tenant, including deposits, what did they get back from the tenant, including sorry. What did they get back from the tenant, including deposits, and why? Did they have concessions? If so, how much was made on concessions? Just like
more
just a whole list of like a
specific
month.
breakdown.
events.
May I just do that real quick? I'm sorry. I thought you gave me this material.
So you're wanting a breakdown of each event, is what you're wanting.
Well, I think that
You want
That's
something
because, like,
broken down
we
to
get-
that, ma'am?
Yeah, like,
Because
I mean, it's really-
that's gonna be time consuming to do something like that. And that's why the finance department prepares those financials monthly. Because the thing is, if somebody has the event center rented for this weekend, and I know where the issue is coming from an event that was booked for December. But if somebody has the event center rented for this weekend, their contract should have been paid 45 days prior to the date of their event. So it's not even gonna show in this month for the rental.
right.
It's gonna show previous. And say they booked it 2 years out, their deposit's gonna show 2 years out. It's not gonna show in that month either. So you're never gonna have a complete
Okay, I get what
total
you're
of
saying.
what it is for the month that's being
Right.
booked.
Because they book it way.
Correct.
so it
And
should
there are
show
people
it.
that'll pay their $800 deposit and then 6 months from now, they'll make another payment, 6 months from now, they'll make another payment. You don't always collect everything at one time.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I'd make a suggestion that, I think with the board, they just kind of want to tie in these numbers to events. Maybe something you might do, Ms. Cadetto, as part of your packet, you put for the coming month, at every meeting, a calendar for the coming month that has a scheduled events for, say, like, right now, we would have one for February. So you guys can see
What's coming up.
what's coming up, and
Yeah.
then y'all will be briefed on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main point of that is how many events are being booked out here that are unpaid, right? I mean, they're not being charged to utilize the facility. And then, like, is there an opportunity to capture any additional revenue? Even on an event where maybe they don't pay for the event, but there's other things involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so, like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. My work keeps me incredibly busy, and I would like to know what's going on the next month, so if I wanted to come. Like, I just saw today, there's the Home and Garden Show, I think that's in March. But, like, I didn't even know about the fight until I saw a post after. So I was like, oh, wow, that one. So I think, like, I feel like that might be kind of like tied in, like, hey, what's coming up? And then also make sure, like, the financials are covered.
So, and the thing with that too is,
So-
I know that they try to keep the calendar updated on the city website, but things like the fight, those are considered private events.
Okay.
So we have to actually have permission from the person putting it on to be able to put their information out. Because it's not the city putting that on.
Yeah.
Not to this board.
It's a private event.
So it'll just say
This
private
board
event on the
can be
calendar.
about it.
We used, like, I guess, like, whenever I first was on here, every time we came to the meeting, we were given, like, just even, like, flyers,
Mhm.
like, oh, this is going
Yeah.
on, this is going on.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess we haven't really, like, so I don't know if that's possible, just
Like the
a
calendar
February
for the month.
calendar, it doesn't have to be fancy, just telling us, like, what's coming up, what we have booked out maybe for, like, the next month, 2 or 3, if there's, like, big events. Like, we could start, like, the Home and Garden Show, I feel like that's a big event, the fight, that was big. Coming up, is that okay? Is that doable?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, my understanding is the fight event, they paid value. They contracted.
Yeah,
with
it was
us.
a normal contract. They paid everything that needed to be paid.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was done a few weeks. They came and booked a few weeks before the event actually took place.
Yeah, I've got a report as well on
Mhm.
how they did it, and they did it right this time. I mean, in the past, there've been kind of some discrepancies, but this
Yeah.
time, they dotted Ts,
Mhm.
they dotted Is, crossed Ts.
I guess our big concern is if it's it's an event that somebody's selling tickets and making money off of, then like we shouldn't have to provide the venue for free.
No,
because
we
it's a
completely get
money-making
that.
event.
So the thing is,
So we don't, like, if it's like the youth groups and they're a nonprofit, like, we understand there's an agreement on those things, but when it comes to like a money-making event, like, they should be able to cover the cost of the event center, to cover any repairs, the electricity, all that stuff.
so I know that Selena, since she has taken over in the position, she is good about keeping up on contracts and making sure that all events are paid for. We don't just hand the building out for free. I know that there was an issue last month and that issue was addressed. Anybody that gets any type of discount, they have to be a nonprofit organization and they have to show the documentation to her that they are registered through the state as that in order to receive the discount. The only other people that we really offer any type of free space to is local law enforcement agencies for any type of training that they may put on during the day, during the week. Other than that, that's it.
All right, anything else you guys want to discuss on D? Moving on, item E, discussion and possible action related to change concessions and rentals pricing and to formalize policies related to facility rentals.
That's kind of like the concession one we already went through.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, but that's specifically to change concession pricing, or no? Yes. Is there anything on there that y'all wanna change that you see? So, question though, these seem like low, so.
So I
what are
was
these
looking,
like for?
I was looking at, so this is kind of, it looks like one of the gun shows, just by the items that are listed on it. And some of the pricing has changed on it, because I know like the tacos are $2 now. The burger and fries, I wanna say is maybe $6. I wanna say everything's kinda gone up like $1. Bottled water and sodas are $2. Yeah, I know pricing has gone up on it some,
We just haven't had anything
yeah.
to put those up.
Okay, so these are, I guess my question is, the concession stand pricings or prices change like if the event is different? So like,
Correct.
for like a big event like the fight, they'll charge more
Yes.
because it goes with the event more versus
Yeah.
like this might be like a kid's.
Like a wedding or,
Oh,
Yeah, if you
okay,
have,
okay.
yeah, if you just have a wedding that's going on, all they're really gonna sell is just your sodas, bottled water, chips, and that's about it. We're not gonna sell the Frito pie, the nachos, and everything else. That's more of the big stuff, the big events.
Is that something that, like, do you ever get pushback from, I guess, whoever's holding the event? Like, hey,
No.
why are you charging
Mm-mm.
more for me versus someone else?
No, and actually, the gun show is really the only one we do it with, and the individuals that bring the gun show, they've always been satisfied with it, and they say, y'all are still cheaper than anywhere else we go to host these gun shows up, so.
Yeah, I'm bringing it.
Okay, so some of these have already been.
Yep.
Anything else on?
There was a concession and rentals pricing and formalized policies related to facility rentals.
That was the same thing that you just went over about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think,
Okay, so no.
what I was understood that to mean is you guys kind of want to school, you maybe want to reevaluate the rental policy and whatnot, and pricing.
We
However,
already did that. Didn't we do that already?
have y'all raised the pricing? I thought it was still $2,300.
Oh, we never raised it? We
Yeah.
just discussed it?
It hasn't
Okay,
been
so-
raised in.
It's been a few years.
yeah.
We only added the deposit, like separated, remember before it was like the
That's right.
deposit was part of the rental,
Mhm.
the way it was worded, so whenever we first got on last year,
We did the deposit.
we separated it, so it was like a deposit for, what was it, $500 or something?
I think it's actually $250, isn't it?
It depends if we rent like the hall.
The whole
thing?
Yeah, the whole thing is 800 and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just divide it.
And that was like separate plus and then add on, so it's really like 3,100 if it's 23 and 8, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they would get the 8 back if there's no damages.
Oh, you're talking about the damage deposit.
Right, like the,
The
right?
damage deposit is $250, right?
No, the damage deposit right now that we have is 150.
Oh, $150.
It's
That's
one,
it?
that's it, and then.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, no,
I thought we did, but back before you were here.
okay, cause I was.
Yeah, it was like,
I
it
thought
was
we
only like our
changed
first or
it.
second meeting.
Yeah, it was our second meeting.
Okay, yeah, no.
Because the
it-
first one I was just.
so the
We didn't do
damage
anything on that one.
So it's 150
For the damage.
for a
deposit.
damage deposit. What is
So
that
how
gonna?
often does anyone go over that?
Yeah. Do we
Or
have any
is
meetings?
the
No.
trend?
We haven't
they're getting
yet.
We
their-
haven't.
Okay, so everyone's getting,
Their
Their
damage
deposit
deposit
their
back.
damage
Yeah, the
deposit
damage
back.
deposit back. 'cause-
okay.
The only one we did change the price on it was this boxing event. Yeah, we raised their damage deposit.
To what?
5.
Mhm.
So could that be the stipulation is if there's gonna be an event with alcohol at it, the damage deposit is more?
Well, then that means you'd be changing every one.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is.
Well, I didn't think of
with
it.
the alcohol is,
Yeah, wedding,
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Security requirements. I think you guys, I think the item is a good item, but I think it's an item that's premature because you're gonna have new board members.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, we're firing one.
so can we table it until we have?
Yes,
board
ma'am,
members?
I would suggest to put it on next month's to brief the board, the new board members, about, kind of that, and I'll school them up, hopefully.
So do you need to
where I'll
make
be
a
next
motion
month.
to table it? Do we have to-
But, y'all are discussing it now, but just, you don't have to, you're not gonna take any action, it's just an item I would suggest we revisit next month.
Fantastic. If they finally do it next time.
That is what I was told. That it's on
It'll be on the agenda for
Yes.
sure.
Table it until members. Give me some good ones, guys. Think of the only one that's gonna be here. So give me some good ones, so think I'm not the one that's gonna be.
So do we need to make an official motion to table that one, Tom? Or-
No,
No.
I mean, I'm just gonna add it again.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to F. Discussion and possible action related to items budgeted for improvements to the facility. In essence, the tree, patio lighting, and a marquee sign.
So that was all kind of put on hold whenever we ran into all the roof issues.
Okay,
I know the finance director had a company come out, a commercial company, to do the roof stuff, correct? Have they already done the repairs?
No, they haven't done the repair.
So that's what we're working on right now. We have a lot of leaks in the building that need to get repaired first. Depending if, I want to say it was between 35 and 40,000 that they quoted us. And that was just going back and sealing everything. If that works for us, then we can move on to the other things that we're budgeted for. If not, then we will have to do a full roof replacement, and we're looking at about 500,000 then.
and was the parking lot a completely separate deal altogether?
The parking
I thought there was
lot is a
funding
separate
for-
project.
Yeah,
It will actually be going out to bid early next month, and we're anticipating that project to start in March.
anything else, guys? Okay. Item G, discussion and possible action related to the need for additional staff for events and the possibility of hiring part-time help.
I know we've discussed this before too. Right,
Well, we made.
well, I
we
mean,
made
now
a
obviously they
motion
have
for that to be.
that one position open. But as far, like when Ruth was here, was it easy, like as far as, like was it enough, staff?
Now it was, because we came together, now we have full maintenance, and I just need her, and then, I think we're good. We're good on that, we don't need anybody else.
How was the event? Did y'all have any staffing or personnel issues with this big event that y'all just had?
I had contractors, and we had enough contractors.
So the
Yeah, I had a
concessions,
lot.
beer and all that was done by?
Everything was
other-
good.
Yeah, we had contractors, and then we had some of our city employees come in with it as well that have their TABC licenses.
All right, so the answer would be no. And the city just kind of, just default use them in a part-time capacity or something like that?
Correct,
Okay.
So you pay them for that?
yes.
So it sounds like they may already kind of have this pool.
Yeah, we're pretty
Well, that
good.
was our concern
Yeah.
before, yeah.
What?
so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, when it comes to big stuff like that, there are certain staff members that do hold a license that have helped out in the past that are always willing to help out. So if it comes to a big event, then we know what we need to do. As far as your regular events that go on a monthly basis, I think they
I
got
have
it
mine.
covered. Yeah,
So do you have to work every event, like on the weekend? Or it would alternate between you and that other
It would
position?
alternate between me and my girls.
Okay.
Because I think this was originally brought up whenever there were issues with like having a wedding and then like nobody on staff would be here at all. And the
no,
building
that
would be-
that issue has been corrected, and somebody
Okay, good.
from the staff is here
Okay.
when there is an event going on.
No.
so you have 2 full-time on your maintenance side now? Okay. All right, guys, do y'all have anything else on that
That's G, sir.
or G?
Yes, sir.
I thought more people were gonna come here and split.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting. I've got 7:11. This is the time.
I will.
You need to make a motion.
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:11.
And I second.
All in favor?